I'll probably get a ticket for saying that, driving away from here. So in 2006, I was about 20 years old, and I had a bright yellow Corvette Z06 C5 in Millennium yellow. Corvette guys, don't burn me if I said that color wrong. I don't know if that in Millennial or Millennium yellow. I had a Millennium yellow C5 Z06, and it's funny how you always get pulled over for the little small things. You know, that's the things I've gotten away with in cars compared to what I've been pulled over for in cars. I've never been handcuffed because of something I've done in a car, thankfully. This one day, I'm just driving my Z06 on the highway. It was Memorial Day weekend, 2006, and I'm just cruising. I'm going with traffic, and I see like 20 cars pulled over on the side of the road. There's just cop cars everywhere. And I'm just like, look at these idiots. Like, and then sure enough, behind me comes a Florida State Trooper car, bloop, bloop, pulls me over, pulled over, and I'm like, whoa, going with the flow of traffic, whatever. Pull over. Instead of a police officer coming up to me first, it's a news reporter, and he's got a camera in my face, and he's like, hey, this is Channel 7 News or whatever. What are you doing today? And I'm like, just going to my friend's house for a Memorial Day thing. And he's like, what's that thing do? And he zooms in on my radar detector. I had a Valentine 1, and I'm like, this doesn't happen. And it didn't go off, so I don't know why we're here right now. And he's like, well, if you saw those people get pulled over, they're using the plane to catch people, and you got caught. You were doing 88 miles an hour in a whatever zone, and we're just doing a report on it. So after that, it was just a normal traffic stop. The cop comes up and he does this thing, and he was pretty nice about it. And it was just he was a pretty cool guy. He liked my car, and we talked about my car, but I got a ticket. And they filmed all this and me getting the ticket, and they asked me if they could post it on TV. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And then that night, I just get all my friends, family members, my mom, my dad, because I'm not going to tell my mom and dad what happened, but everybody's calling me. I'm like, hey, I was watching the news tonight, and I saw you get pulled over in your car, and yeah, the rest is history. I love the Z06. The car had a rebuilt title, so I got the car for cheap, hence why I was 20 years old with the Z06. Great car. First car that wasn't a go-kart that I took to a racetrack. I did a track day at Daytona with that thing, and that was actually the first car I really took out to the greenhouse property and could really do some good drifts because, rear-wheel drive, 400 horsepower, LS6, and that was actually a difficult car to drive at that age. Vets have a lot of grip. The car's constantly trying to straighten itself, so it doesn't want to be in a drift. You have to be a little quicker with your inputs and everything, and it made me an all-around better driver, but the car was incredible. Back in 2006, that car was stout. I don't know if everybody remembers what the C5 Z06 did to the competitors back in that day, but it hurt a lot of people's feelings. That was a really good car for the money, and for the price that I paid for that car, I had a lot of fun with it, got a lot of good use out of it. If anybody from Orlando knows the area, I was at I-4 and Maitland Boulevard, and I was going under either the Lee Road or Maitland Boulevard exit when I saw all the people pulled over, and they ended up getting me, and they pulled me over like right after the bridge. But it was a scene. I've never seen so many people pulled over in my life, actually, at one time. Like, it looked like a rally, and but it wasn't supercars. It was Toyota Camrys and one Z06, and yeah, that was never seen anything like it. It was definitely they probably loved having me on there. I'm in my mid-30s. I still think I look a little young, and when I was 20 years old, I really looked young. So they're like, they see this kid that probably looked like a teenager driving a bright yellow Corvette. It was that was probably gold for them. They loved having that. Yeah, so when you're driving down the road, you'll see signs on the side of the road that say aircraft, speed control, and you think that an F-16 is gonna come down from the sky and shoot missiles at you if you're going too fast. But in reality, what they really do is they have white lines on the road, and they're just timing you with a stopwatch, basically, just the amount of time it takes you to get from one line to the other, and it's a very exact way to catch somebody on how fast they're going. Radar guns can sometimes not work properly if they're not focused. I even got pulled over one time. I was in an Audi S4 that was silver, and there was a Honda Accord that was silver next to me, and they blasted one of us. I really think I was in the right at this point. But because I was a little younger in an Audi S4, the speed that the Accord was going, I think they got him and they pulled me over. So radar guns aren't always the most accurate thing. So that, though, however, from the air is very accurate. I fight every ticket I do get, and I usually use the ticket clinic. Ticket clinic's gotten me out of a lot of tickets. You know, I think it's around $90 or $100, and they actually do a really good job. I wish they were in more states. I lived in Denver for about 4 years, and the ticket clinic doesn't work there. I lived in LA for a while too. They do work there, and they do work in Florida. I don't know what other states, but ticket clinic definitely works. They're actually fighting a ticket for me right now. Got a ticket, and like I said, the small things. I'm coming over a hill in my F-250 daily driver pickup truck, and I get pulled over for doing 15 over and a 35, and yeah, ticket clinic's gonna help me out with that one right now. So let's see what they can do. Maybe the radar gun wasn't working properly. That ticket did get reduced. I didn't get off free and clear, but the evidence with the plane didn't help, because they have they find a reference points. I think they have like white lines in the road, and they measure the time it takes to get from one of those to the other. So it was pretty set in stone, but it did get reduced. I've been pulled over a lot, but a fairly decent driving record. I've never had my license revoked or anything like that, and anything super serious. I did get lawyers to take care of it, so driving record is nice and clean. I haven't gotten a ticket in years, other than the one that they're fighting right now. That was like my first ticket in 5 years, and I'll probably get a ticket for saying that, driving away from here.
We'd like to thank Auto Tempest for their support of this month's videos on VINwiki. Auto Tempest is the best place to find your next car. Whether it's your dream car or your next project, anything you want to look for, it's the most powerful tool to search all the major listing sites at the same time. They give you much more specific search criteria. They are the supporter of Car Trek, and we cannot thank them enough for that, but this is now their 4th year of sponsoring the VINwiki channel. So be sure to thank them now by checking out the link in the description below to search for your next car. Autotempest.com, all the cars, one search.